Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, where we aim to provide journalists with an update on the latest developments at the court and the opportunity to ask questions. In the case of Hashim Thaçi, Bashkim Smakaj, Fadil Fazliu, Izni Kilay, and Hayreddin Kuchi, concerning allegations about the illegal influencing of witnesses, on 26 January, the trial judge issued a decision related to one of the witnesses whom the prosecution plans to call in the trial. The judge decided to defer any decision on whether the witness qualifies as an expert and on whether the witness report and associated materials are admissible until after the witness has testified, as was requested by the defense. The defense had earlier given notice that it will challenge the witness as an expert and the admission of the report. This procedure follows Rule 149 of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence related to expert witness testimony. In the same case, on 27th January, the trial judge granted a prosecution request for an extension of the word limit for a filing related to the admission of evidence, having extended the word limit for a related defense filing the week before. On 28th January, the single trial judge granted a request by the Thaçi defense to postpone the start of the trial initially scheduled for 24th February and set the new starting date to 27th February 2026. The trial judge considered that two factors of significance to trial scheduling have changed: the definite scheduling of 2 additional days for the closing statements in the Thaçi et al. War crimes case on 16th and 18th February 2026, and increased certainty concerning the time that will be required for the examination of prosecution witnesses. In the trial of Hashim Thaçi, Kadri Veseli, Jakob Krasniqi, and Recep Selimi, as a reminder, closing statements are scheduled to take place from 9th to 13th February and on 16th and 18th February. The hearings are scheduled to begin at 9 and end at 4:30 and can be followed online in the 3 languages of the court, Albanian, English, and Serbian, via the streaming function on the KSC website with a 45 minutes delay, or from the public gallery at the premises of the specialist chambers. The agenda for closing statements is based on current estimates and may vary, for example, if a party needs less time than anticipated. Due to the high interest in attending the hearings on these days, pre-registration is required to attend the hearings from the public gallery at the premises in The Hague. The deadline for pre-registration is tomorrow, 30th January. Public redacted versions of the filings and the decision concerning Salih Mustafa's request for temporary release submitted in December last year are now available on the Specialist Chambers website. As reflected in the filings, the single judge was seized of Mr. Mustafa's request to visit his father in the hospital on Monday, 22nd December, and on the same day issued a decision requesting further submissions from the parties and the registry. On the following day, the defense filed an additional submission, including updated medical documentation. At the time of the passing of Salih Mustafa's father on 25th December, further submissions were still pending before the single judge. Subsequently, the single judge invited the defense to indicate whether it wished to amend the initial request, including for the purpose of visiting the grave or family members. The defense informed the court that it did not intend to submit any further or modified request, following which the single judge declared the request moot. More details are available in the filings on the website. Regarding the KSC outreach program, we would like to reiterate the information provided last week, that the purpose of the court's information sharing events is to provide basic information about the court's mandate and activities, to give people in Kosovo the opportunity to share their views and, most importantly, to answer the questions that people have. The information provided at these events is the same information that can be found on the Specialist Chamber's website. The court is a separate institution from the Specialist Prosecutor's Office, and the outreach program administered under the neutral court registry does not represent the prosecution or the defense. The presumption of innocence of the accused is clearly communicated. The information shared does not include political or ideological content. The court reports regularly on its outreach activities in our weekly press briefings and online. The KSC appreciates listening to people in Kosovo and answering their questions through the outreach program. This is all from my side. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to respond.